Good morning and welcome and congratulations. You made it to the final day of VAV. And your efforts have not been in vain. We have saved the best for last. My name is Frode Restad, and today, together with these wonderful people, we will be presenting some highlights from a new book project from Norway about community building. And we are very proud to be here today. We've been working very hard, day and night, for the past couple of months in order to have the book ready for VAV and to present it to you. And we feel that this is very important work and very meaningful work. And we also feel that this is just the beginning. So we want to engage with you and just share some of our thoughts and hope that we can continue the discussions with you here and also after VAV. So, just to give you a brief background of what this project is about, we'd like to recognize UNESCO's work on the whole education approach and say that we are drawing on inspiration from this framework to look at how curriculum, how teaching, and how learning can become better integrated parts of a strategy to prevent bullying. We also come from the Norwegian context, which means that we are working within a national legal framework and also within a curriculum framework that demands us to think about integrated practices, integrated pedagogical practices to prevent bullying within a legal and curricular framework. And to do this, we've been very much inspired by the phrase community building didactics. And we're drawing on this phrase and trying to see how we can use that in the Norwegian context to look at teaching and bullying prevention as the core activity of schools. So the question really is, how do we do that? And our answer here today, quite simply, is by listening to new voices from the practice field. And here they are. Today, Tori Johannes Nerte, who is a teacher from Hemsedal, will be presenting teachers' experiences of these practices. And she will be presenting together with Selma Therese Lyng, who is a researcher from Oslo Metropolitan University. We also have with us Kari Vårdal, who is a headmaster of Flora Lower Secondary School, and she will be presenting together with Marianne Ekeberg Kolobekken, who is also a headmaster, but at Fjellhamar Elementary School. We also have with us Jorunn Sandsmark, who is a senior advisor and also co-editor of the book from the Norwegian Association of Local and Regional Authorities. And last but not least, we have Kjerstin Ovren, who is Ombudsman Against Bullying in Oslo Municipality. And what we have for you today are these four contributions. From the teacher's perspective, we'll be talking about building community through cultural projects in teaching, and what strategies teachers use to do this. We'll be talking from a school leader's perspective about leadership, attitudes, and platform, and also about professional learning for community building didactics. From a school owner's perspective, we'll be talking about the four roles of the school owner and also school owners' tools for community-based prevention. And from the ombudsman perspective, how children's emotional needs to foster dignity and humanity are served, and also about redefining quality and responsibility beyond anti-bullying measures. So, without further ado, teachers.
Well, thank you. So, for this chapter, we've been working together, two teachers, one of them is here, Gerdine Røise could not attend, and one researcher. And this has been really an exciting and first-time process, for me at least, and really digging into in this cooperation, trying to pinpoint and conceptualize, okay, so what is it that you do, and how do you do it, exactly how, and how may we think that this works?
I'm so happy as a teacher to be able to work together with a scientist, because I'm on the ground, you know, with my pupils, and it's so interesting and so inspiring to hear what words you put on what we are doing, and that you make us kind of we understand better what we are doing after talking with you, because we are just doing it, what we have to do. So in Hemsedal, we are 2,700 people. Every year, at every step of age, my English is not so good, we have about 30 pupils. So for 15 years, every year we have made the Ibsen project. We put up a drama by Ibsen, and we work different drama each year. So it's a cooperation between me and as a music teacher and a Norwegian teacher. And this actually didn't begin with a social purpose. We just wanted to really make the children have the possibility to be creative and to make something together and make this performance. So in 6 days, we put up a drama, and we work 24 hours like this, all of us, and then we show it for the school, and we also show it for the society, for the parents and everybody. It's really popular in Hemsedal.
And also, I know the important thing is that you also integrate. Each year we take this drama, but you also make the children's or the pupils' texts incorporate to make them make this their own.
I have to say something about that. That they choose the music, they choose the dances. If they want to be choreographer, they do that. They make the scenography, they do everything. So we take the drama, we translate it into the local dialect, because it's also a dialect project, and they make it as their way of interpreting that drama by Ibsen.
So I think this is really in the core of this community building didactics thinking, because it's co-thinking both the curriculum learning and the social, and really having ambitions for both. And in terms of learning ambitions, I know that you, it's not only about combining different subjects and interdisciplinarity, but also you use this as a kind of a arena for revitalizing the whole kind of desire to learn and motivation for this project. But here, it's so short time, we had to focus on the social. Yeah. And for those of you who attended the workshop on Monday, this is kind of experience-based strategies on how to create significant we and address these group dynamics, which are often so difficult in class. So we kind of pinpointed some main goals or outputs that you set, and that's about creating new and stronger communities and relation and roles in class, and also challenging status hierarchies and expanding the room for normality and kind of acceptance for difference. But I know this is very short time, but we have tried to condense, like you speak about the Ibsen bubble, which is a kind of a name for the method. And we tried to condense it in two key elements, like choosing commitment and the fail-tastic process. Could you just say very short?
Try to be short. The Ibsen bubble is, I work in different kind of schools. I work in music school, I work in folkehøyskole. I work in so many different types of schools, education. And I know that it's very important when you're going to work with music and arts to make a high temperature. It's very important also to have the children that are quite negative to this, or they have no experience with it from before, and also the shy pupils. To make them come into this, you need to create a very high energy and a significant we, as you talk about. So we make this bubble, and in Hemsedal now people say, "Are you soon going into the Ibsen bubble?" It's kind of it's a metaphor that everybody know, and
kind of business not that usual.
Yes. Yeah, it's a unntakstilstand. Yeah. So, and we kind of deal the cards in a new, so you can do things you never did before. And we talk a lot about it. I think that the process is very important. So we use lots of time. Every time is natural to say something about, like, the chain is not stronger than the weakest part, that now you can do something that you never did before. Usually you are maybe like this, now you can be different. Just these 6 days, just try it, you know. We're going into the bubble, we are here together.
So are we up, Frode?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are principals in Norwegian primary and lower secondary education, and today we are representing the leader voices in this book. So I want to start to ask you a question, Marianne. So what do you consider to be important elements of school leadership, attitudes, and platform?
Yes, from a school leader's point of view, I will emphasize the importance of building a platform where teachers and assistants develop a common language for preventive work against bullying in school. A shared understanding is important for professionals to know that they are talking about the same issues in the same school. Meeting pupils with an understanding or an attention to what is causing their behavior is a valuable approach for creating good relationships, communities, and a real inclusion. Reading common literature within the field, creating time and space for reflection and guidance for professionals are good tools for establishing a common language. It's important that the school has a plan for this work, but it requires a change of attitudes, and it takes time. Therefore, I think there must be a structure that ensures that the entire organization works systematically together. An important element for change is for all professionals being good role models, and this does not come by itself. When a common language is established in the professional group, it's possible to pass on to parents and other arenas so important to the pupil. To ensure our pupils' good communities, we must start in the classroom, since that's the most important community for the children. We can do that in several ways. And you, Kari, you have done it in your way. Yes. Can we hear about that?
Yes, thank you. My golden opportunity to influence learning environments in the classroom is in leadership of professional learning groups. In my school, we have organized our teachers in learning groups to develop strategies ensuring cooperation, a greater involvement of the pupils, and tasks where our pupils can work with both social and academic learning as integrated learning processes. My teachers were introduced to a learning partner methodology to build a platform of common language and shared understanding. Our pupils are now organized in pairs by their teachers, and they swap partners every third week. My teachers report that our pupils get to know each other very well as learning partners. They assist each other to acquire skills, knowledge, and attributes necessary to attain one's learning goals. They learn both to accomplish the task and how to work successfully together with others. This learning strategy demands tasks where pupils need each other and can feel this sense of belonging. Therefore, our teachers have worked with rich assessment tasks in mathematics specifically, and that means tasks formed in such a broad way that they invite and include children with all kinds of gifts and academic skills to participate, to share thoughts, and to build competence together. In our experience, such tasks can inspire pupils to value complementary skills and to a further extent to respect each other. So the learning partner methodology and rich tasks appear to us as valuable didactic strategies in making our classrooms more inclusive.
In Norway, the Education Act states that it's the municipalities and counties that are responsible for the pupils' right to education. So they are the so-called school owners. So what do the so-called school owners have to do with community-based education? The municipality councils are elected representatives. They are politicians, you know. And as representatives, they have different roles. One is governance. That is seeing to and controlling that the municipality fulfills the legal obligations. They make decisions, and they adopt the municipality's budget, including different plans for services the municipality is responsible for example, education, schools and kindergartens. Another role is leadership. That is, for example, setting the local political agenda. It's finding solutions to problems and challenges and to create acceptance for those solutions. A third role is as employer. That's not directly into the schools, but they are creating employer policy and strategies at the local level. The final role is ombud. It's not like hers, but it's ombuds, it's a role as representatives for local political parties and their politics, for the whole community, for groups and individuals. Also for the pupil that the whole school community think is the problem, so therefore skip him over to another school. Every municipality also have a chief municipal executive with an administration for the daily running of the municipality. We know that it is important for both these political and administrative school owners that they should be engaged in and ask the schools about results, included school environment and bullying. We also know that the municipalities that succeed are not too detailed in their governance, but support and help the schools in developing good school leaders and professional communities and the pupil school environment and the whole school community. The schools will know what are expected of them, and they know they have the support of the municipal council and the chief executive in the municipality. This book talks about 3 different tools that municipalities as school owners can use in supporting the schools. And one is plans. This is how to use plans to set this political agenda for community-based education. They can set it in the municipal council, in schools, in the user organizations at schools, etc. And it's also important that they can, when they plan, they have to use all those 4 roles. How can they use their governance role, their leadership role, when they plan for this community-based education? The second tool is competence. In Norway, the school owners are responsible for ensuring correct and necessary competence at school. The important question to ask is, what is necessary competence to build a professional community of teachers for community-based education? What kind of competence do our school leaders and our teachers need? How can we make plan for that? I see you and the clock. The third is internal control. I just have to say something about internal control, which is controlling that you do what you are supposed to do according to the law. And in Norway, we have this aktivitetsplikt when you see someone not thriving and being secure in schools. And the point is, you also have to have a kind of risk control. And what do you look for? If it is a fear of being excluded and fear of not being part of a community, you look at different things and you have to follow up different things and you have to plan for different measures to correct what is wrong. So a community-based understanding of bullying gives the municipal council opportunities to have a whole local education approach and support the schools in building this school environment so that every pupil can experience value and belonging, and also so the municipalities can fulfill the obligation they have in the Education Act. Thank you.
What is a community? How do we define togetherness? These are questions I've asked numerous practitioners, leaders, and students using these two photos to help illustrate the difference between the we and the significant we. The team to the right is Canada's female soccer team who won the gold medal in this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo. Canada has never won any prestigious medals in female soccer, but this year they beat one of the best countries in the world, Sweden. Upon questions from journalists asking how the team had accomplished such an amazing achievement, all the players, interestingly, mentioned the same team description: diversity and a culture of togetherness. The team's transgender player, Quinn, said it best, quote, "They allow me to be myself, and I know everyone else feels the same," unquote. I introduced chapter 10 in our book with this story, comparing it to the classes where the students experience feeling as if they belong and are accepted as who they are. The common denominator is partaking in a culture which focuses on each individual's strengths as part of a group, or a team, if you will. So which team do you want to be the trainer for? The one to the right? Are you sure about that? I see an awful lot of effort, including here at WAPF, being put into succeeding with creating the team to the left. The team to the left gets the job done. We are in control. Peace and quiet in order for us to play the game. We're so much in control, in fact, that if something does happen and one of those players suddenly falls off the stick, there's definitely something wrong with the player. On Monday, you can press next, please. On Monday, I delivered a message about the new turn, which I elaborate on in chapter 14. The new turn is incompatible with an education system that views students' learning, including social and emotional learning, as a standardized and linear process. The conversation needs to change on multiple levels simultaneously about the purpose of education and how to assess well-being and legislate it. It needs to take into consideration how students will view each other as human beings in the future. We're not playing to win, we're playing and practice playing. This is also the part of the school goal. School is a practice field. The goal has to be broader than reducing bullying numbers or unwanted behavior, because today's students are tomorrow's neighbors, moms, dads, teachers, football coaches, and car mechanics. Schools need to prepare them for coexisting peacefully in a democratic society by making them believe in themselves and seeing the good in each other. I worry that we are raising a generation that will view each other as problems when things go wrong instead of solutions for moving forward together. This direction should be systematically linked towards meeting students' psychological needs of safety, belonging, mattering, development, and contributing in social situations and interactions with peers whilst learning. Our book offers one perspective on how to do this, and we welcome others to supplement our experiences with their own practical dilemmas and solutions. Let's change the conversation together. Thank you.